Hi guys, it's Jennifer Beaumont-Whyte here again with another BU interview. And today we have the enigmatic, wonderful, amazing Susan Kennard, who's the founder of Sparkle to Success, lots of S's going on there. And she's known for being a spiritual scientist. And she's going to share with us her journey from adversity to celebrity, celebrating her life and achievements so far. And her topic today is her journey around her journey to self-love, self-belief, and self-trust. Quite an interesting journey. Lots of ups and downs and peaks and troughs, and really having to hone in on her self-worth and self-love and self-belief to really get through the trials that she's been through, to now becoming a healer for other people who are going through the same thing. If you've not met me before, I'm Jennifer Beaumont-Whyte. I'm the founder of the Business Love Academy, the soul-conscious entrepreneurs who want to shift from fear to love, become the best version of themselves, and make an impact, make money, and make the world a better place by being the best version of themselves. And the BU interviews are created because I believe that entrepreneurs who are being real and true to themselves are the ones who have the autonomy and freedom to share their gifts, touch people's lives, and make a real difference. They're just ordinary people just doing extraordinary things. Okay, and I'm going to welcome my guest, Susan Kennard. Now, Susan is known for being a spiritual scientist. Really interesting. Now, she originally trained as a psychologist and a psychotherapist. They're two different things, and she'll probably explain what they are as we go along. And she did this over 20 years ago, so she's been a therapist for over 20 years. And she is also a psychic medium, and she combines all her training, all her powers, all her superpowers. She's combined her research and experiences to now specialize in helping people to clear their trauma, leading to inner healing and a fulfilling life. Susan speaks publicly about her work, is regularly in the media, featured on the British BBC and ITV, Sky, and interviews on many international telesummits and podcasts. Susan's greatest passion is helping you to remember you are a creator being, able to heal from within, creating a remarkable life. So, welcome to the show, Susan Kennard.
What an intro. Thank you. Thanks, Jen, for having me here.
No problem, my darling. Too many S's in all of that. So, we're just keeping it real because this is all about authenticity and being real and true.
Exactly.
And we're just going to have a really fantastic conversation. We've been friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. And we've been working with each other. You are my mentor for EFT, and you're an incredible woman. And just to say, actually, before we had this interview, Susan just cleared a huge, big, horrible entity around me, and which was preventing us from actually doing this recording. So thank you and bless you, Susan, using your superpowers to help us to
That's just what I do.
You're absolutely remarkable. So let us begin. Can you just let us know a bit about your journey into entrepreneurship? And actually, if you could start with how we actually met, and then we can sort of
sure.
Your journey.
So, and how we met kind of works really well with the self-worth and so on, because I started off, and obviously you've said I was a psychologist and psychotherapist. It seems like it was like 100 years ago now, but it was only 20 years ago. It feels like a previous life. But around about 10 years ago, I was in an emotionally abusive relationship. And so I had two babies. I had one baby that they're growing up now, but that was 11 months old, and one that was 2. And they're now nearly 12 and nearly 10.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, they're so intelligent and bright. I mean, I just love your kids. So yeah.
and so at that time, I found you, didn't I? I was looking for. I realised that. I mean, obviously, I was very, very, very qualified, and I was also a medium. And I realised that this relationship that I was in was not serving me. So I can't remember whether I was out of the relationship then and I'd asked him to leave, or whether I was right at that point where it was almost happening. I can't remember, but it was.
I think from what I remember, it was happening. I mean, it was like
it was happening. Yeah. So I realised that I had a lot to give the world, even though I didn't realise I had a lot to give the world. Obviously, deep within, I knew I did. So I met you because I think I found you. I was Google searching and I found, what was it called again?
The Inspiration Junction. I had something on meetup.com.
Yeah, it was a meetup. It was a meetup and it was Inspiration Junction. And I remember phoning you and saying, oh, I'm really interested in that. So then I came along, and it's in Hastings. I came along and realised that we could put together some plans and some, and look at why we weren't achieving what we were achieving. And so that's how we met. That's how we started. And rest is history. And then I became a single parent. It was quite difficult for me to come to the meetings, but I did try to manage to come to most of them.
Yeah, you were very supportive, and you did amazing.
Tried.
You made a lot of connections. Yeah.
And anyone watching this that is a single parent, like me, actually, well, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
So basically, that started off the journey of me realizing that I had a lot to give to the world. So, but I didn't love myself.
Okay.
So I was in this emotionally abusive relationship, which I had obviously accepted. So I'd attracted this relationship into my world, and great, I have 2 beautiful children. I have no regrets at all about it, and I'm very grateful that this relationship was so awful that I actually listened to my intuition and realised that I did not want my children to be brought up with this type of man, and I didn't want them to see me as a woman accepting that relationship. It wasn't physical, but it was emotionally abusive. So I was probably at the lowest vibration. No, because I work with vibration. So the lowest emotional energy, the lowest self-worth, the lowest place that anyone could be. But when you have 2 babies to look after, you can't actually even acknowledge that. Okay. So all my training in psychology and psychotherapy, and I worked in child protection for 15 years as well. So I realized that I was in a pattern where I'd attracted this, and I realized that it actually was affecting who I was on quite a grand scale. So that's how we met. That's how it started. And that's how my journey to self-love started to become a real journey.
And the thing with the work that we do as well is that we have to take responsibility for how we are being, because we're the way we're being, the way we take on the persona, our self-belief or whatever, attracts somebody, something, some event into our lives that actually teaches us something, or protects us from something, or gives us something that we need to learn. Whatever that is, we need to grow from within. We need to shift something within ourselves. So I mean, and you recognize that
at the start. And I found law of attraction then. So I found I found EFT, I found law of attraction, I found and now what I know all these years later is that we're a mirror. So what happens in our external world is a reflection of our belief system about ourselves. So it's been an ongoing journey for the last goodness knows how long, and still on this journey. It's not a journey that we ever get done. I
always think of it as an evolution. We're evolving and we're growing and evolving until we die. So
exactly.
Just enjoy the journey.
Exactly. So we're and it's not always enjoyable. But it's a journey where you once you, as you said, once you take responsibility for what you're attracting, and as I say, the mirror of what you're attracting. So once you take responsibility, and there's no kind of that person did that, or that person's awful, or that person's bad. It's actually, oh, how interesting, that's happened in my life. What does that mean? And as you said right at the start, you know, what happened before we did this interview.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get the connection together. And so I then asked, oh, that's really interesting. I wonder why we can't get the connection together. And you asked the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
we were looking and taking responsibility for what we'd attracted into our experience. So it was perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah. And this is like the third time lucky kind of thing. I'm thinking, now there's got to be something more than
I know. And that's when you have to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we attract good energy and bad energy as well, bad entities and good energy and everything. So we've got to be really aware of who we are being in the whole thing, you know. I think I attracted that negative entity or whatever because I'd gone into a fear state. I got a really low vibration, and it's like, whoa, you've opened the door and it's going to come in and cause problems for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there is only fear and love. And you know, I have my peace scale, which I'm happy to put on PDF and people can download from you.
Yeah.
But essentially, you get a peace scale as a free gift. But basically, the peace scale says that there's only fear or love.
Yeah.
And so when we're operating in a vibration of love, then we attract that vibration in. But that doesn't mean that, you know, we don't have fears. You know, we have these fears so that we can evolve, so that we can see what we're reflecting and where do we want to be. You know, the question I always ask my clients is, well, if you could wave a wand, what would you be? So it's working on the journey of self-love and clearing all the blocks to and lots of people want to work with success, so clearing the blocks with success, clearing the blocks with you know, what are you attracting in the sense of relationships, in the sense of, you know, everything like that. Yeah,
Fantastic. So what was the worst point, like your lowest point that you got to and you said, okay, well, enough now, I've got to turn this around?
Well, I think it comes in waves, but I think if I think back, there were two things I would say that were really pivotal. The first thing was not about that relationship, but the first thing was that 20 odd years ago, when I was training in psychology and psychotherapy, mainly the postgraduate psychotherapy training that I did, an old boyfriend of mine who was a friend took his life.
Whoa.
And so, you know, so basically that was all those years ago. And so that was my journey of being a medium. And I totally had no idea that I'd signed up to be a medium. I was a psychologist in child protection. I certainly was not a medium.
The two tend not to go with each other. One's woo-woo and one's...
They didn't then, so in those days, you know,
but it's changing.
And so basically what happened then was I had this experience where he came to me one night and I was absolutely scared stiff and wondered what the hell it was. And I felt somebody, you know, kind of pushing down on my shoulders. And then a couple of months later, someone gave me a reading. Now, I never had a reading before. It wasn't something that I kind of really knew about. So a friend of mine just got so sick of me going on about this. I couldn't sleep at night just in case it happened again. And and so I had this reading, and then this lady told me everything about myself and Martin, his name was, I actually named my son after him. And, you know, and she told me everything about it. And she said, and she looked at my hands and said, and this is part of your journey. You could be doing this. And I went, you must be joking. I'm not doing that. I'm a scientist, you know, I'm a psychologist. And then she said, well, she said, you know, it's there for you if you choose. Anyway, so obviously once you go on this journey, there's no chance you ever go back. So basically I resisted it and resisted it and resisted it. And then eventually found transcendental meditation in magazines, on the tube. I lived in London then. So on the tubes, everything, everywhere was meditation. So my journey was learning TM, which is transcendental meditation, at the Yogi Centre in Baker Street, which is no longer there. And my whole world opened up. So from Martin coming and letting me know that life goes on, finding meditation at that time, and then finding the College of Psychic Studies. So all those things, like, so when you have adversity in your life, because obviously it's devastating when someone takes their life. But he was the other side of the world, you know, his girlfriend let me know. He was in New Zealand. But he literally, that devastation led to massive transformation.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, and then the journey of training, you know, a medium and professionally, and not really even realizing what I'm doing, but training as a medium. I turned around, one minute I'm kind of doing these courses, and the next minute I'm working on the platforms in London as a medium. You know, it's like, it's kind of like just happened. And then the second thing massive that was adversity was obviously the father of my children, and so him ending up in a mental health hospital, broken down. My mum had cancer at the same time, so I had 2 babies. I had no idea how I was going to pay my mortgage, had to give up my job in child protection, and I just literally set up my business. So within 9 weeks,
decision, this is what I've got to offer, and I'm going to start working.
So once again, adversity shifts you massively. And I, you know, I was fortunate. I had my connection to source, my connection to upstairs, I call it. I had my nan from spirit sitting next to me on the bed when I was crying my eyes out, you know, and knowing that everything was going to be okay, and knew that one day I would look back on it and say, do you know what, that was amazing. And yet you don't feel it's amazing at the time. So people who listen to this will realize that it feels like the worst place to be in the world. But actually, from that adversity, your soul just grows. And
I think it's about as well having a purpose at the end of it, because you had your children, you had your mom,
absolutely,
you had to pay the mortgage, you had to set an example, as you said before. So there was a reason why you had to keep going, and thank God for guides. But even with the guides, if you haven't got a purpose, I think it's a lot less like motivational. It's like, okay, I've got these guides. Well, what am I going to do with it? But if you've got your kids and there's a reason, and you've got to share this with the world as well. It's like, okay, now I've got to get up off my backside and make something happen here and share. And then while you're focusing on that, making it happen, your energy isn't focused on you and your negative situation. It's more on how can I make this happen. So what is your advice for people who haven't got their guides and their grand sitting next to them and all of this kind of stuff? It's like, okay, I'm on my own. I'm going through this adverse situation. I know that there's something greater for me, but right now I don't know which way to turn. So what's the first thing you'd advise people to?
Is to remember that you are an incredible being of light. And that this physical body, this body that we have, that we've chosen this time as our vehicle, is literally just carrying us. But our soul knows exactly where it's going. And there's always a reason for why things have happened. And usually it's because we've got to look at what we're attracting, heal those parts of us, those child parts of us, those parts of us that we brought in with us from birth, from ancestors, from the tribe, from past life, if we believe that. But even if we don't believe that, if you imagine you are your mother's 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 mother, so epigenetically, it's a science bit, we bring in that thought form, and it comes in on our brain relays, and within 10 to 21 days all our brain relays are formed in the womb. Half the time don't even know you're pregnant. So, you know, so basically we bring in exactly what we need to heal. Whether it's dis-ease, whether it's emotional, whether it's ancestral patterns. So wherever you are in your life, whether it's about money, physical problems, you know, the body will show that message.
Pain, disease.
The body will show. The body is an incredible barometer of love.
Or lack of, especially self-love. So
totally, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how much do you love yourself? What's your body showing you?
Exactly. So if people are having like pain and emotional stuckness and really being in a low place, is there a method, technique that they can easily just quickly pick up and say, hey, I know how to shift this. They haven't got time to connect you or with me. There's something they can actually do and say, hey, right now I'm in this pain, I'm in this agony, I'm in this mental stress. Is there something they can quickly do and to calm things down before they actually take?
There are several things, but the first thing is to say that, you know, I give a free meditation if someone subscribes to my newsletter on my website, Susan Kennard. But but that's a really good meditation because it's the Earth Star, Soul Star. So it allows you to connect to the Earth, connect to Source, and bring that light through you. But if you just ask that pain, so sit quietly, put your hands on your heart just for a moment and ask, what does that pain need to tell me? What emotion is held? What colour is held in that pain? You know, we know that colour energy.
The colour.
But if you don't know that, it's okay because you can just listen. So what's a heart problem? A broken heart usually. So and when we're looking at and obviously, you know, I'm not a doctor, so I need to say I'm a neuropsychologist, but I'm not a doctor. So I need to say that what I'm saying here is not, you know, if you have something wrong with you or you feel your body's showing you a message, then always go to your doctor. But ask your body and say, why are you showing me this message? And the other thing that's really important, I feel, is that when you know, this is quite controversial, but you know, in the media, it's all like, we're going to fight this, we're going to kill this, we're going to beat this. Why would you want to beat yourself up? Why would you want to kill yourself? And why would you want to fight yourself? So think about what message your body is giving you. Love that message. Love it.
Celebrate the actual fact that your body's actually working. It's telling you something that is actually job of letting you know what's going on. The fear, emotion, and the pain is a message from within about what you're experiencing or what you're allowing yourself to experience.
Exactly.
It's really key that you're speaking about the broken heart, because my mum is going through some heart problems at the moment, and it's just, whenever I go and visit her, it's like the TV is on and it's all negative, and she's, you know, talking about, oh my God, look at this, look at that, look what these people are doing to these poor children. And there is something going on within our family as well, which is causing a broken heart state. So actually, as you're saying that, I can see my mom and why her heart is having these problems as well. She's experiencing a broken heart. You know, so every time I go there, I try and give her some techniques to, you know, tapping techniques and little affirmations for her to start saying, thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing, thank you for my message from my body, I'm at peace, I'm safe, that kind of thing. Because she's 80, she's going to be 84 this year, so she's not into this, she doesn't get the woo-woo thing at all. She's very Catholic, very what's in the Bible, British Gas, British Telecom, National Health. So it's really
one of the things for people that don't understand there is a soul in a body, really helpful, is to, once they acknowledge that, you know, their body's showing them something. One of the things that I do with people is we quit the gratitude and the compassion process. So basically, I would say, I'm so sorry that your heart is broken. I'm so sorry that you have this pain in your knee. So who you're actually speaking to is the child part of you that didn't get the love. So I use this a lot with my clients actually. So we allow the child to present themselves to us, and then we'd say, I'm so sorry that you feel so sad. I'm so sorry that you feel alone. I'm so sorry that you're in so much pain. And so for your mum, the language might be, even if you said it to her, I'm so sorry that your heart feels really broken at the moment. So, you know, so it's kind of, what you're doing is giving compassion, but the best compassion is our own compassion.
For our own selves.
I'm so sorry that pain in your back is stopping you from sitting. So it's kind of saying to yourself, and ask that child to come out. You know, there's a particular process which is found on my YouTube channel now, actually, which I did yesterday, which is where we're looking at the light in our body and we're asking for that child to come forward, and where, you know, where is that interruption in our field? And that's for people that really are aware of that they are a soul in a body, but if they're not, and we're just doing inner child work, and we're not looking at spirit and soul, etc., directly anyway, of course we are, but we're not directly, we would say something like, gosh, that, you know, we've all got a part of us within us that's a child that perhaps didn't feel safe, protected, loved, appreciated at any time. We're then talking to that child. And quite often, if we just, you know, I click my fingers and we go from this part of our brain to this part, and this is the part where we hold all the answers. So basically, in the amygdala. So basically, I would say to someone, if they've got a pain, I would say, and what's the first number you hear after we've done the meditation, after we've connected? And they might say number 3. So then I know that the 3-year-old part of them really is holding that pain. And that's when we might say, you know, without bringing angels, guides, or anything, or even a beam of light, we would just say, I'm so sorry, you know.
And do that.
That when you were 3, you fell. And usually, you know how it works with energy, usually there'll be a thought or a word or a flash of like inspiration that was from that time. And it's because we're accessing it. So that's a good process to do. But definitely to ask the pain, or to ask the disease, or ask the part of you that's stuck, you know, what
emotion
do I need to know? Really, you're asking the universe, aren't you?
If you're asking beyond. Exactly. So that is really, really key. That's really key. I mean, we did all of this kind of stuff in my training with you as well. So and I use quite a lot of that with my own work as well.
Good.
With the therapies and the processes that we learn, one of my things is that my clients usually have gone through various stages, and they've created their own signature program or signature process because of their own experiences, and they bring that to the table. And obviously, because I mean, I've trained with you with EFT, and I had my coaching process, etc. And I brought my signature process, my social principles together. So, with your learning, your processes, what have you created to bring to the world, which is unique to you, which is what we're about?
So unique to me is like exactly the combination of all of the things that the traditional training, but also the spiritual training, you know, that's come in. So for example, if you were a client of mine, I would literally, I don't prepare, because as soon as I sit in front of you, I'll be given exactly what it is. And I see clairvoyantly the Akashic records, and I'll see where trauma is held, and contracts, and vows and oaths, and entity, and childhood, past life, it's whatever the person needs to shift. And sometimes people come with something, but it's not what it's not what it needs to be healed. So basically, I suppose what mine is it's spiritual science, if we were going to label it something, because the evidence of seeing something shift so quickly at cellular level is key for me, because of being a scientist. Like I like to see evidence of things.
And this is really, really a key point, because it's like we've evolved so much, and so many of us are awakening. So many people who are scientists are now proving God. They're actually proving that there is God, but not in the form that we think, a little man sitting on a cloud condemning you and judging you. It's the God force. That there's a force. There's a source energy that is the creation. And science is actually proving that. So you blending the spiritual with the science is perfect for our time right now. We have several people like Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Dr. Lipton. All of these guys who are scientists from college, you've gone through processes themselves and learning, and now saying, hey, you know what, there is another level of energy that we now know to be the God energy. And it's like,
so the environment of the cell, essentially. Yeah, the environment of the cell is totally different to what the cell is. Yeah,
exactly. And you're bringing all that to the table with your work as well. So it's amazing.
And it's really interesting because years and years, what came to me the other day was years and years and years ago, I was working with a young girl, and she had sickle cell. And I remember being shown, and this was the days of doing EFT, I remember being shown the blood, the actual blood cells, and how by doing the energy work, I could see them change. And I was reminded of that the other day. And this was years, you know, this is way years ago. And I was reminded of it. I was like, oh my goodness. So what I get shown now is the DNA.
Okay.
So as the light, I haven't talked about light language, but so the galactic guides work with me a lot these days. And so they come in and they sing, meaning they tone. Mother Mary comes in as well, but we have the galactic guides, and so they show me the shift in the DNA in someone. So as our vibration is becoming more crystalline, we're becoming more of a crystalline field, then our DNA is shifting. And that's why we can't eat certain foods, and we don't want to drink alcohol, or we don't want to have something in the body, and it's because we literally, our field is so light that we just can't take it anymore.
Have the toxins, the toxic energy from that.
That's my belief. You know, that's just my belief, from my own life. But other people might have different beliefs. That's just mine. But essentially, I've noticed it within me that there are certain things. So as we're looking at that, we're looking at the science aspect of it, and they're showing me this science, and I'm like, wow, that's really amazing. And I'm seeing the DNA change, and like the colors coming into it, and I'm like, wow. That is, I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Amazing.
Fantastic. So where we're on your journey is that we've gotten to the point where you started your business, and you're doing all this amazing research and learning and helping people, and you know, you've been through the adversity, and now you're doing your business. So do you have actually anything coming up there where people can actually get in touch with you and actually start working with you?
So last year I started doing monthly group calls, and they were in the daytime, and now they're in the evening, and they start next week. So next week is the Wednesday the 8th of May.
Fantastic.
And it's 8 p.m. Approximately an hour. And we do healing, group healing. The guides will tell me exactly what to do. It will be around self-love, self-worth, trust, self-trust we talked about earlier. It will also be around vows and oaths. So things like vows and oaths to poverty, chastity, married to God, all of this stuff that really stops you. It's also whatever comes up with the group, it's bespoke really to the group. And I'll be doing individual healing as well as group healing. That's £33 a month, and which is really low cost, but I wanted as many people as possible to come and do it.
Absolutely.
So
sorry, how long is it going to run for?
It's just an ongoing subscription. So each month, on that Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month, or the 8th, well, around about the 8th, it will be, you'll get a notification and come on it. It's recorded and live. So it's live, and then you get a recording.
Fantastic.
So you go through it again.
It should be showing up on the actual caption.
So the link, you've got the link. The link is on my website, and it's on the subscriptions. So you just go onto subscriptions, pay it, and it comes out, and you can stop it at any time. So that's good.
Fantastic. So during these calls, will you be explaining about crystalline body and light working and all of this kind of stuff?
How to manifest, how to look at what's reflected back at you, how about self-love, about all that stuff. I've also got some really exciting things coming up. So I've been invited on 3 different shows, tele summits, international, kind of all over the world. So there'll be notifications on my newsletter.
You've been on so many. I've seen you on so many different ones, radio ones, video ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to San Diego in September. Yay! To go to.
That I've been, last year was 5 months in California, San Diego for 3 months. Love the area, and it's full of people who are into personal development, spiritual development. That's where it's all coming out from at the moment. People, just that energy there is just amazing, and you'll be amazing. Yeah.
Perfect timing. Perfect. So I'm going along there to meet a lot of podcasters and meet them, have interviews and stuff. So that's really good. What else is happening? I'm also doing a program, which is I'm putting together a 6-month program of self-love, which is a lovely program for people who really want to go on the journey with me. Which has got live calls, but also lots of other work for them to do in between. So recordings, downloads, healing recordings as well. So loads and loads of stuff. So I'm putting that all together at the moment. Fantastic. So that will be launched around about the summertime.
Yeah, fabulous.
So people can talk to me about that. What else is happening? Well, just loads of these interviews and sort of, things like that are happening.
Okay.
And if
so if people want to have a taste of what you do, you've got some freebie offers that you've got on your website as well. So
so they can. So if you sign up to my newsletter, you get a free download of a meditation, which Star Soul Star. So you can see that. You can listen to any of the radio shows as well because they're free. You don't have to buy the package, but you can if you want to. You can work with me, so that I've got book with me on my thing. So book a session with me on my website, and where you can look down and you can see which service you'd like to try. And I'm offering everybody who, what did you say? You be you. If you mention be you
in capital letters, be you, just like the interview.
So if you mention be you. Then instead of a half an hour session, you get a whole hour.
Fantastic.
Okay. And if people want, and something that I'm being guided to do is that if people book a block of 6 with me, I'll give them a free session.
Wow.
So they end up with 7.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So they just have to mention be you or the be you, and then they'll get
or that they saw me on your show or whatever. That's fine.
Yes, because sometimes you can't remember the code. Something like especially.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fine.
Fantastic.
So I'm offering that because I think when you block book, when you actually take that time and you commit to changing your life, it's really good. So I want to give that as a bonus, that if someone books 6 or 10, they get a free session.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh, bless you for that. Bless you.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so is there anything that you'd want to let us know more about, or have you got a word of wisdom while we wrap up?
Let me just ask the guides. Hold on. Okay. So what I'm hearing is it's all about finding that bit of peace within you. So however you find that bit of peace in the day, that is your key. Just to connect with that bit of peace and just know that you can come home who you are. And I think that's really important. It's like remembering who you are. But even in that moment of, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Just come back to your breath and just remember that little tiny bit of peace. And they're showing me actually a light. So just imagine you've got that light in your heart, like a sparkly light.
I've got an idea. Are you in a position to do a little mini meditation around that?
Yeah, definitely. Right. So because they're really coming in close. So right, bear with me. Okay, right. So we just wish you to put your hands on your heart and your feet on the ground. Okay, good. And just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just imagine a beautiful light within your heart. And just see that light expanding out through your body, expanding out through the whole of your body down to your toes. remembering to breathe. And then just imagine that you have roots growing from the bottom of your feet. And imagine a crystal in the distance. And just notice the colour of your crystal. And even if you can't see it, just imagine. And wrap your roots around that crystal, knowing that you are safe and secure in this earth energy and Mother Earth and Gaia. And then bring all of that beautiful, grounded, safe energy up through your roots to the soles of your feet. And watch as the whole of your body lights up. And it may be in the colour of the crystal, or it may be just sparkling light. Good, excellent. All the way up, remembering to breathe up to the crown of your head. And then imagine a beautiful golden cord coming from the crown of your head up into the sky, through the building that you're in, through into the sky, the clouds, the sunshine or the moon, through all the layers of the universe and the multiverse. And I want you to find just a beautiful plane of existence, a white plane of existence. And this is your place of creation. And I want you to imagine that you could float up, knowing you are safe and secure. And you could float up to join that place of creation. And just imagine as you arrive on that platform, almost as if you've been in an elevator. And you stand on that platform. You look in front of you and you can see a beautiful bench, a white bench. And you go over to the bench and you sit down, knowing that you are safe and secure and in a perfect place of creation. And then you're going to invite in your highest guide, the one that works with you and helps you and supports you, even if you don't know they're there. And they're going to come and sit on the bench with you. And you may hear them talk to you, you may feel their energy of pure love. And I want you to tell them the best dream that you've ever had, who you want to be, who you feel you're meant to be in this world, what your passion is. And just tell them what you want to create. Without any restrictions. Don't be thinking about how it will happen. Just where you see yourself, spreading your light. Fantastic. And know that your guide has heard you. That your guide has heard all of those dreams and wishes and has felt your vibration of love, has felt the vibration of desire, and has listened and will guide you now. So you may want to hug your guide, you may want to thank your guide, and even if you can't see your guide, just send your love and gratitude out to the universe, to love. And then I want you to get up from that beautiful white bench and step back to the edge of your plane of existence of creation. And just imagine there's a bubble of light waiting for you. And you step into that bubble and you travel back down into the seat where you're sitting now, knowing that you have expressed your innermost desires and wants and essentially tapped into your mission. Hmm. And knowing that you are never on your own, that you are always guided, even if you can't see or hear or feel, you are always with someone holding your hand. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes.
I'm not ready, but I have to get on with the show.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Thank you so, so much.
And I didn't even know what they were going to do.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, that is, yeah, I was there. I had my higher self and Archangel Michael, and they were surrounding me, and just being around me. Excuse me, a cup of tea. Hang on. But thank you for that beautiful meditation. So, audience, if you're looking, there is more of this on Susan's website, susankennard.co.uk.
Yeah.
In the caption, it should be down there. There's lots of free stuff. Just say if you're going to connect with Susan, or you've seen this interview, and she'll give you her offerings. Yeah, her offer. And next week, Wednesday, she's starting her group healing. Connect with her as well. And if anything, if you're not interested in the group healing and the freebies, connect with her directly for what your particular healing needs are. As you can see, she's very open and she's totally gifted. And thank you so, so much for your time with me and us, Susan.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for everything that you've done for me and you're doing for the world. And we actually do need people like us. I know you don't like the term light workers, change agent, whatever, but whatever it is, the world really needs us to be in top form right now to deal with the chaos that's going to come. But we are going to be strong, knowing that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and we're strong within our own bodies, our own minds. We can deal with anything, and
we're on our mission. So,
yeah,
everyone's got the same purpose, but we've got a different mission. Yeah,
fantastic. So, so thank you again, Susan. And if any of you have something that you're passionate about and you want to build your business from the inside out, sharing your love for what you do, you want to get some support, really some strong support from a group of rising superstars like yourself, then the Business Love Academy is the right place for you, which is what I do. I run that on a weekly basis. And we work through our spiritual practices and practical strategies to embody my business soul shift principles. They're 9 principles, they're ancient principles, to help success principles, to help you shift from fear to love, become the best version of yourself, and change the world. So if you want more information around that, somewhere around at the bottom here, you'll see the link to my website. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because there'll be lots more interviews like this. If you would like to be interviewed on the BU interview, if you're an ordinary person doing extraordinary things for the world, please get in touch with me and we'll set up an interview for you as well. So without further ado, and thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on my show. And we just have to keep shining. Thank you. Thanks so much.